Hello everyone, today's a different kind of video because today we are going to speculate on what the future packs will give us. Now people have been speculating for a while about what the next pack will be. A recurring theme is that people think the future packs will be biome related, specifically the animal packs, I think. We have the wetlands animal pack and the grassland animal pack, and this theory that has been circulating in the Planet Zoo community is the wetlands, grasslands, highlands, islands theory. Basically, it predicts that the next animal packs will be lands packs, basically. People have been mentioning and theorizing about islands packs specifically as well, but I have been convinced that a islands pack will be coming in the future since the conservation pack. And, well, I thought it would be the autumn pack originally, but retrospectively the twilight pack made way more sense. And after that, I wasn't really certain when the island pack would have been released or when it would come. I was quite certain it wouldn't be for the Christmas pack, although the grassland animal pack really caught us off guard, because that basically means that the packs aren't season themed and that the next pack could literally be anything. But even though Frontier became way less predictable, despite all of that, I am here to tell you that I am convinced the island pack will be the next pack. And I will try to convince you this as well. So, the biome predictions do make a lot of sense, and although islands isn't really a biome, you know, the next pack could be any biome or region related pack. The season themed pattern isn't the only pattern they broke, unfortunately, because Frontier released 2 scenery packs in a row, the conservation pack and the twilight pack. So we also can't really say which type of pack the next pack will be, so that's why I will be discussing both a islands pack and a islands animal pack and how they would look like. So first we must address the meta wishlist. I'm sure you're quite familiar with the meta wishlist, and one thing that Frontier has consistently been doing is listening to us, the players. So having a look at the meta wishlist, Jesus, I can't talk anymore. Having a look at the meta wishlist, I think is a very good indication of what the future animals could be, and grouping those animals into a fitting pack. So as you can see, a lot of the animals on the top of the wish lists are all island-dwelling animals. The Tasmanian devil being number 1, and some species of sloth also are only found on islands. Also animals like the Fusa, Goodfellow's tree kangaroo, and the North Island brown kiwi are all only found on islands. Previously, the same could have been said for the maned wolf and the emu, both being quite high on the list, and both being added to the grassland animal pack, so it's not unrealistic to think that Frontier really listens to what we request. So people have been speculating about other packs, we can't ignore that. So we have the Highlands animal pack, which has been speculated as well, and I definitely think it's a realistic future pack, but I personally just don't think it's the next pack, since, well, firstly, there are a lot of animals from the Highlands on the meta wish list, but the island animals simply just, they score better. The Tasmanian devil is quite literally number 1 in the list. It's the most requested animal of all the animals on this list. And the other animals like sloths and fusas make it to the top 10, whilst the highest ranking animal from the Highlands is the wolverine, which is only on 7th place, and other animals like the musk ox and the Hamadryas baboon rank lower. So statistically, people want island pack more than a highland pack. But a second argument, even though we can't really look at the seasons anymore, if we do look at the seasons, the island pack being a spring pack makes more sense than a highland pack, since island pack is more tropical than the highlands, which would fit the spring pack better. Although this can't really be relied, like you can't really rely on the seasons anymore, since they kind of broke this pattern. But it's obviously not proof, and nothing in this video will be proof, since it's all just speculation. But I have a third reason. It's a simple reason. I am just very biased, and I have been wanting an island pack for a really long time, and I think that now is the perfect time to finally release this pack. An island pack can perfectly follow the classic formula with 5 animals and scenery pieces, or it can also just be an animal pack with 8 animals. So let's have a look at these two possibilities. So the previous pack was an animal pack, so it would only make sense that the spring pack would be a scenery pack. How would this pack look like? Well, let's first just imagine what the scenery theme could be. The great thing about an island pack is that it's extremely diverse. I wouldn't consider islands to be a biome, as I said previously. There are tropical islands, Arctic islands, and anything in between, really. So if you were to choose a specific theme that would be best representing islands, then I think I would imagine relaxing Hawaiian music and a Hawaiian theme, or just in general a Pacific island theme with flexicolor thatch roofs, walls and panels. You could have cobblestone brick wall pieces, skulls, wooden pieces, lanterns, coconuts, and basically any other piece that would sell the Pacific island look. Some other idea that I have is maybe the Central American / Caribbean / pirate theme kind of thing, with colonial Spanish architecture, pirate ship props, barrels, crates, rustic wood pieces, flags, small boats, and the list goes on. I think both of these are great themes to represent islands, but I think there's a third theme that would work. It's to add upon the already existing Asian theme that we have, and that is by adding an Indonesian, or just in general a Southeast Asian theme. This would mean that not only do we get more Asian pieces to add on to the props that we already have, and it would work as an island pack, but that also means that we get some pieces to use for our Southeast Asian animals. And speaking of animals, this pack would have 4 habitat animals. Now, let's be honest, the Tasmanian Devil would be the flagship animal of this pack, and Tassie has been one of my all-time favourite animals, and it's the most requested animal on the list right now. As the name suggests, it inhabits the island of Tasmania. It's the biggest island of Australia, if you don't obviously consider Australia as the Australian mainland, if you don't consider that as an island. But to add another bird to the pack, I think the kiwi would be a great pick. This is also fairly high on the list. It's a ratite, which means it's related to ostriches and emus. This bird is quite unique since it's on an island, and a lot of island animals tend to be quite unique. This is because island wildlife is isolated from basically the rest of the world, which causes them to become really unique. And the North Island brown kiwi in particular is found on, the North Island. It's the smallest of the 2 islands of New Zealand. Next, we could have, firstly, I want to mention that we could replace the kakapo. We could replace the kiwi with the kakapo, I mean. It's a large flightless ground parrot, and it also lives on the islands of New Zealand. This could possibly be an even more unique pick for a bird, since it's a flightless parrot. And it's a common thing for islands for island birds specifically, to lose their ability to fly because of the lack of predation. So it's a good example, basically, of those kind of birds. For an arboreal animal, I would like to see a pygmy 3-toed sloth. I think a sloth would be a nice addition to an island pack, and it's also a highly requested animal if you look on the meta wishlist. It's not the pygmy three-toed sloth, but this species is an island dwelling species. It's found on Isla Escudo de Veraguas. It's a small island off of the Caribbean coast of Panama. Now, it doesn't have to be this species in particular, but I think the pygmy three-toed sloth is a great pick. Notice that all the animals that I'm picking only live on islands, because in my opinion, an animal that lives on the mainland and also happens to inhabit islands doesn't count. But the next animal, we could replace the sloth with a tree kangaroo for a better pick, specifically the Goodfellows tree kangaroo, the only reason really being because it's on the meta wish list, and it's my favourite tree kangaroo. Any other tree kangaroo would perfectly work though. The Goodfellows tree kangaroo inhabits the island of New Guinea, and the tree kangaroo would be an amazing pick for an arboreal animal, just like the three-toed sloth. The pygmy three-toed sloth, to be more specific. Now finally, for a bigger animal, the fossa is a must. This is the biggest predator of Madagascar, and it's also a fan favourite. I love the fossas myself. It's probably one of my favourite animals, together with the Tasmanian devil. And actually, the fossa isn't related to... well, it is kind of related to felines, but fossas aren't felines. But it's actually closer related to mongoose and meerkat. Finally, for the exhibit animal, we could expect a Lord Howe Island stick insect, since it's been found in the files. But personally, I would like to see a chameleon species, specifically the rhinoceros chameleon from Madagascar, but any other chameleon would work, really. And this would basically be my prediction of a island pack. Unless it's not an island pack, but a island animal pack. We got 2 scenery packs in a row, so why not having 2 animal packs in a row? An animal pack is a very reasonable thing to imagine, and it would basically be the same but with no scenery pieces and 8 animals instead of 5 animals. So let's just keep the prediction, the 5 animals that we've predicted already. So that's the Tasmanian devil, the kiwi, the tree kangaroo, the fossa, and the chameleon. And let's explore some more islands around the world. The British Isles have some unique animals as well. More specifically, the Scottish wildcat, which can only be found in the Scottish Highlands, obviously in Great Britain. This would also be a good pick for the Highland pack, by the way, but I would like to see it in an island animal pack. The Galapagos Islands has some very unique wildlife as well. Obviously, we have the Galapagos giant tortoise in the game already, but there's some other unique animals other than the giant Galapagos tortoise that can be found on these islands. For example, the Galapagos penguin, it's a penguin species native to these islands, and what's even more unique is that this is the only penguin species that can be found above the equator, so north of the equator. The Galapagos Islands have some other unique animals, like the marine iguana, which could also be a habitat animal, but I think it's less likely. Last, let's visit the Japanese islands. I think the Japanese giant salamander is very unique and, in my opinion, big enough to fit for a habitat animal. It would be the only habitat amphibian in the game, and probably the most unique animal of the pack, maybe even the most unique animal of the game. The salamanders are critically endangered, and adding the animals would simply just, I suppose, add some more unique animals. It would give players the possibility to discover some species that they may have never heard of before. If this is too unrealistic, another pick for the Japanese Isles would be the Japanese Sero. This pack still doesn't include an ungulate, so having another larger animal would be quite nice, and the Sero is a very unique ungulate, unlike any ungulate in the game. So these are my predictions for the island pack, or the island animal pack. And remember that these are just predictions, and it's impossible to know what the future of Planet Zoo will bring us. But I hope you enjoyed this quote-unquote rant. I hope you enjoyed the speculation, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.